This is a problem. And this is the solution. So my data situation is getting pretty out of hand. I can't lie. I have known for quite some time that I need to upgrade my storage system to make my life easier, as well as make my entire workflow more efficient and safer. I've talked about SSDs quite a lot on this channel, and to this day I still use SSDs, especially when I'm traveling, and also if I'm editing anything. I'll always edit projects, whether that's client work or my own personal projects. I'll always edit off of an SSD. The UGREEN NAS DH4300 Plus. This is going to be my main storage hub. This is also my first ever time using or even setting up a NAS, and I thought it'd be really cool to sort of document this process for you guys, because for anyone watching at the moment who, you know, might be really serious about their craft, whether you're into filmmaking or photography, you're going to have to invest in something like this later down the line, and I think it's just going to save you guys a ton of money and a ton of time if you do this quite early on. What a NAS actually is, it stands for Network Attached Storage, and what it does, it lives on your home or office network. So you install your own hard drives inside it, and then you connect it to your internet router, and it becomes your central hub for all of your files, projects, documents, and backups. Before the NAS came along, this is kind of what my workflow would usually look like. So I would edit off an SSD, I would finish the project, and then I would move it onto a hard drive, which would then sit in one of my drawers until I needed to access the files again. Now the problem is, hard drives have quite a lot of moving parts inside them, and eventually something will fail, and I am not prepared to lose any files anytime soon. Because I was shooting so often, especially dealing with lots of video files, because I make YouTube videos and I do a lot of video based client work, I was burning through hard drives like no tomorrow, and eventually I just ended up with stacks and stacks of hard drives, and after a few months I forget what's on them, and in case I want to access those files again, I've got to search through all of these hard drives, and it just became an absolute nightmare. Inside the box, you get the NAS itself, of course. You get a power brick, an Ethernet cable, screws for both 3.5 inch and 2.5 inch drives, and a small screwdriver. The NAS itself has 4 drive bays under the magnetic top cover, and installing these drives is super simple, and with the right setup you can actually have up to 120 terabytes of storage, which is wild, by the way. Let's say I need some particular footage to use in a YouTube video or an Instagram reel, and I shot that footage back in 2024. Rather than me, you know, rummage through my stack of hard drives and plug them all into my computer and turn my computer into some sort of octopus, right? I can just search on the NAS the date or the year, and everything will be in that one place. Whether you're a creator like me, you make YouTube videos, you create content for, you know, social media, video, photo, whatever it is, there are going to be 3 main ways I would say you can connect your NAS to your computer, whether you're doing this at home or you're doing this from a studio or an office space. You're going to need a few things, and the first thing being access to your internet router. Okay, so option 1, you connect your NAS via an Ethernet cable to your router, and then as long as your computer has a connection to your router wirelessly, you can then access the NAS wirelessly from your computer. So that is going to be the first connectivity option, so to speak. That is going to be your wireless connection, and that is going to be the most easy way to connect your computer to your NAS. Option 2, and this is most likely the way that I'm going to use the NAS, is you connect your NAS to your router via an Ethernet cable. Then you connect your computer or your laptop to your router via an Ethernet cable. So your internet box is essentially your hub. Okay, and if your laptop doesn't have an Ethernet port, you can just buy an adapter off of Amazon for like 12 or 15 pounds, and then that way this is going to be your wired connection, and this is going to give you more speed and more reliability. So that is option 2. Both of the connection options that I've just spoken about are going to give you 1 gigabit connection, which is fine in most situations, but option 3, this is going to give you 10 gigabit connection. But the issue is it's going to be a bit more costly because you need to buy a 10 gigabit switch. And I'm not going to go like too deep into this, but essentially you can plug your computer into the 10 gigabit switch, then you can plug your NAS into the switch, and essentially your connectivity or your upload speed for the NAS will be 10 gigabits. So it will upload things faster. So once you have your NAS plugged in using the 3 methods that I spoke about, you want to make sure everything is connected properly. Go over to your web browser and search find.ugnas.com. And then what this will do is this will search your local network for the NAS. So here we have it. It's picked it up straight away. DH4300 plus. You want to hit connect. And then you can give your NAS a name. So I'm going to name this BXN Studio. Okay. And then you just want to click these 2 confirmation boxes. Next. Then you want to give yourself an account name and a password. So you want to actually write all of this down in a note or like in a notebook. I would say writing it down physically is going to be safer. Everything that I am doing, account name, device name, just write everything down just so that you can remember it in case you log out of your NAS and you want to log back in. So now I've got my password in. You just want to hit next. Now you're going to want to verify this with your email address. So once you put in your verification code, it's then going to configure everything and it's going to set up your NAS, and it's going to take you to the desktop home page where you can then set up and configure all of the hard drives, and we can actually start using the NAS like a huge hard drive. So it's going to take some time just to kind of configure everything, so we just got to bear with it. So we're now in the main menu or the desktop of the NAS. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is update everything and make sure you are running the latest version before we set up any of our storage pools. You just want to hit update now. So now we have our NAS updated. We want to go and set up all of our drives to actually start using the NAS properly. So you're going to go over to the storage application, and then it will say welcome to storage. You just want to hit next. And then basically what this is going to do is we're going to actually create a storage pool. Create. And what it will do is it will detect all 4 of the drives that we installed earlier. So we hit all 4 of those, and then we're going to choose our RAID type. So I am going to go for RAID 5. I'm going to go over to this little box at the bottom which says hard drive test, and then what this will do is this will check through all of the drives that you've installed and make sure there are no issues. So you just want to hit next, and it's going to tell me that I've got 11,132 gigabytes of storage. For our file system, I'm going to hit BTRFS, then we're going to hit next, and then this will essentially now create our storage pool. This will format every single hard drive that we've installed into the NAS. So just be aware, once you hit format, anything on those drives, it's going to be completely erased and deleted. So make sure you're using fresh hard drives. I would also recommend, if you buy a NAS, to make sure you fill up all of the drive spaces all at once. So you're going to hit format, it's going to ask you for your password, and then you're going to hit confirm. Now, this will take some time, but essentially what this will do is this is going to run through every single one of those drives. It's going to check it, and it's going to make sure that they are all ready to be used once you start putting your storage or your data onto them. Now, this will take some time depending on how big your hard drives are. So you're just going to have to bear with it. It might take, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 hours. I'm not sure. So you just got to let it do its thing. Once that process is completed, and like I said, it can take some time, you then want to go over to your control panel and go to file service. Okay, so you see at the top here it says SMB. You want to hit enable SMB service. Okay, then another thing to remember, whether you're on Windows or you're on Mac, here it says how to use. Okay, so here it's going to have your address. So the address that you're going to have to put into your computer in order to connect to the NAS. So if you're a Mac or PC, I would recommend copying either one of these addresses into your notes where you've written down your password and your username. So that way you know exactly what the address is so you can connect to your NAS. So if you're on Mac, you'll see Go at the top of the Finder menu and then click Connect to Server. You then want to type in the following: SMB, all in lowercase, // and then the name of your NAS. This will then connect you to your NAS and you'll finally be able to start loading all of your files onto it. The UGREEN NAS DH4300 Plus is incredibly user friendly, even if you've never set up a NAS before. And the UGOS Pro system makes storage management super simple with no technical skills required. If your files aren't organized properly, a NAS won't just like magically fix that. So I'm going to show you the best folder structure that I use for all of my projects going forward. I organize everything by year and then name of the project. First up, we have 01 footage, and this is where all of the raw media lives. And now inside that, I break it down even further. So video, audio, graphics, and photo. Next is 02_projects, and this is where all of the actual edit files live. I separate these into different software. So say I have folders for DaVinci Resolve, Lightroom, Photoshop, and Premiere Pro. These are all evenly spread out in case I'm, using different software during my editing. I can kind of separate them all and know exactly where all of the project files live. Then there's 03_exports. This is where all of the final renders or final exports go. So YouTube uploads, Instagram cuts, client deliverables are all sitting in here. And then finally 04_assets, and pretty much what lives in this folder is anything that I have downloaded for the projects. This particular folder structure has just made my entire organization so clean, way more efficient, way easier for me to find specific things in different folders, whether they're from recent projects or from projects a year or two ago. This folder structure has really helped my entire workflow. So if you can apply this to your NAS, it's going to be top tier. You will not have issues finding anything. If you've never used a NAS before, in my opinion, this is the perfect starting point. So check out the UGREEN NAS DH4300 Plus for 15% off on Amazon and use my exclusive 5% discount code to save even more. It is an absolute steal at the price, so do not miss out. So yeah, if you create content, I think this is definitely one of the best investments that you can make. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, if you did find it helpful, please leave a like rating, subscribe down below if you are new, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. Peace.